School's Out in 1972. This man is known as the world's most loved heavy metal entertainer. He is responsible for 26 albums, 19 as a solo artist. He was inducted in the 2011 Hall of Fame. He is a rock singer, a songwriter, a musician, an actor, a restaurateur, a celebrity golfer, but I think what he holds most near and dear to his heart is what he did last week, and he opened up Solid Rock Foundation in Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, it's been open. It was the grand opening. Solid Rock Foundation is this. It's a Christian goodwill nonprofit organization dedicated to helping troubled teens and children, and it was founded in 1995 by Alice. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alice Cooper.
Hey! All right, I was expecting snow, everything. Well, I'm not from Sioux Falls, but I am half Sioux Indian, so that's my tribe. We have a thing called Solid Rock Foundation. Cheryl, my wife here of 36 years, I always introduce her as my better 80% because my better half isn't quite do it. She teaches dance there. We take kids off the street, out of gangs, and put them in bands. And we say, you know, give us your 9mm, we'll give you a Fender guitar. You know, I think that's a good trade. And you'd be surprised what it does. It cleans up an entire neighborhood. You know, very few people get shot playing music, whereas when you're out there selling drugs, you're either going to be in jail or dead. So music is a much safer way to go. Chuck called me up. Chuck, by the way, is probably our biggest benefactor at Solid Rock when it comes to raising money for us. Big hand for him, please, on that. Every single year, he does a thing, and we end up with an awful lot of money that saves an awful lot of kids. So he calls me up and he says, you know that Solid Rock thing you're doing? Yeah. He said, I got one. He said, I got one in South Dakota. You want to come down and open it up? And I said, I'll be there. Just to tell me when to be there. So this is a guy that doesn't talk the talk. When he says it, he's going to do it. I know a lot of guys that say, I'm going to do something, and they don't do it. When he says something, he puts his money behind it, and he does it. So your best guy right here, Chuck Brennan.
This is the only nice day in the history of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Because Alice came, you know. Hey, this is great. I'm glad so many people showed up, and I'm not going to bore you with a long speech. I grew up right down the street from here as a kid and lived the rock and roll lifestyle my entire life. I used to own the largest rock club in Minnesota, used to promote bands all over the Midwest. I love rock and roll. I can't play an instrument to save my life, so I kind of had to get on the back end of it and ride the coattails of my friends like Alice Cooper and Kiss and all my other rock star buddies. But that's making this just the most incredible thing for me, and I'm so proud to be here today and to open the Brennan Rock and Roll Academy. I was shocked when I found out the Boys and Girls Club did not have any type of music program. Did you know that? When do you think that the Boys and Girls Club would have something for kids to learn music? No guitars, no keyboards, no drums, no bass, nothing. So when I got a hold of them and said, look, I have this great building in a great spot, and I think all these kids around here would really benefit by it, and it just started growing one piece after another. This has just been over the last few months. And today we're doing the groundbreaking, and in 4 or 5 months it's going to be open, and all the kids of the Boys and Girls Club of the Sioux Empire are going to have a place where they can come and learn how to sing and learn how to play keyboards and learn how to play guitar and drums, and they're going to be playing on some badass equipment too. This isn't the local elementary music room. My friends over at Pearl Drums, Joey Allen's the founder of the band Warrant, and he's the VP at Pearl Drums. Donated $25,000 worth of incredible drum kits. My friend Paul Stanley in KISS is donating a slew of his KISS guitars for the Academy. It's going to be a high-end facility that nobody can even pay to go to in any of these bigger markets, and it's going to be right here in Sioux Falls, and it's going to be for all you kids of the Boys and Girls Club who literally pay $25 a year to be a member. You know, we're going to bus you back and forth, we're going to set you up, you're going to learn an instrument, you're going to do something productive, and you're going to be the cool kid in school right now when you figure out how to play the drums, you know? It's going to be cool. Yeah, so this is great, and to have Alice come out and the mayor and all these kids just as icing on the cake, and Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Jameson, and I'm missing a lot of people out here. It's awesome to have my mom and my aunts here, and again, we just grew up right down the street. So it's nice to see this whole area come together, and we're going to dedicate that cool fountain idea I came up with too that we just put in. We're going to go do that in a little bit, and Alice is going to sign some autographs, take a couple pictures. Please stay behind the rope though, he's going to be kind of in the middle. And then my rock and roll ambassador, Corey Van Sickle of Corey and the Fireflies, who's helping us. How cool is that to have the greatest rock band in the area, the leader of that band and the visionary behind it, come on board and help me out to help develop the curriculum, and he came up with the logo and the name. He's really been doing well, and he's going to help us get this whole thing underway too. But Corey and the Fireflies are going to play a couple songs, and maybe we get this guy to jam on one. I don't know. We'll see. But again, thanks for coming out. We got a lot of food, we got a lot of drinks. We're going to be accepting donations. This thing's costing me $3 million. My kids hate me because their inheritance just flew out the window. They said, again, the old man's nuts. He's out spending all our money, and where's the cars and planes? And I got the cars and planes, and I'm doing this, and they'll have to find their own way because I did. So, oh, hey, here's, speaking of money. That's a lot of hot dogs, $3 million. That's a big donation, huh? That's what it's going to cost to run this joint for 20 years, and I've committed to the Boys and Girls Club that I'm paying the rent, I'm doing the build-outs, I'm buying the instruments, I'm doing everything for the next 20 years. So if I die, check out my kids, because what I think they did is killed me. Because there is a clause in there that if I die, I think this cuts off, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. All right, thanks for coming, everybody, and thanks to the Boys and Girls Club, man. You guys do great work. Thank you. You got me here.
Thank you. Well, we need you here.
I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't learn how to play foosball at the Boys and Girls Club.